Hello everybody and welcome to another episode. In today's episode I am going to show you how to remove and how to clean the EGR valve along with the throttle body on any Mercedes Benz CLS with the engine 350 CDI for matic. So as you can see, this is the car which I'm working on today, and the owner had some problem with the EGR valve, and first of all I always recommend you all to clean the EGR valve and see if the problem is fixed, or if it's not fixed, only then you'll have to replace the entire EGR valve. So in today's episode I will have to clean the EGR valve and also the throttle body because they are very clogged and they are very dirty. So this is why I decided, guys, to show you all how to do it. To begin this job, what you have to do is to lift the engine cover. You'll have to put it away and then you'll have to start working on the parts. On this car, the EGR valve location is right here in the right side next to the turbine. This is the location and this is the part which you'll have to remove and clean right away. Also, from what I can see, this car have some problems with the air intake pipes. The one from the right side, from this position, is broken, and I have to fix it right away because the engine, it's breathing hot air from the engine because the pipe is broken. So this is not good for the engine, and also the performance will be a little bit weaker. So I recommend all to fix the pipes or buy them brand new. But in my case, I'm going to use some special duct tape. I'm going to seal those pipes and then I'll have to install them back on the engine. So as you can see right here, this is the EGR valve on this car, and if you want to remove it, what you have to do is to remove this bolt from right here. So you'll have first bolt right here in the corner, and you'll have to use an 8mm socket or an E10. Also after that you'll have to remove this bolt from right here, and then you have to remove the connector from behind the EGR valve. And I recommend all to remove also this connector from right here because it's getting in our way of removing the EGR valve. From here, just follow what I'm doing because it's a very easy job to remove this EGR valve, but you'll have to be very carefully to not break any of the parts from this engine. So after remove the power connector from behind the EGR valve and also the two screws which are securing it mounted to the engine, you'll have to lift it up. And in some cases the EGR valve will be very stuck onto the engine and you'll have to use a flat screwdriver or something a little bit sharper to put it underneath the EGR valve and the mounting support, and you'll have to lift it up and eventually it will come out from its place. Just look what I'm doing right here. For my case, I'm using a flat screwdriver and the rubber mallet, and I'm hitting very easy between the EGR valve and the mounting bracket. So eventually it will lift up and it will come out from its place. After that you'll have one hose, you'll have one more hose which you'll have to disconnect because the hose is from the EGR cooling, and you'll have to remove it and a little bit of the coolant will came out, but you don't have to worry about it. Just remove the pipe and remove the EGR completely from the engine. As you can see, the EGR valve is completely removed out of the engine, and this is how it's looking on this car. It's not in a very bad condition, but I will have to clean it anyway. And if the problem with the EGR valve onto the dashboard is still there, I'll have to replace it later with a brand new one. Also, on this car, I have an electrical problem. The EGR valve is getting stuck into the closed position, and this is why I recommend all to clean it first. And if you see that you will still have a problem like this, you'll have to replace it completely with a brand new one. So as you can see, I removed the metal washer and also the EGR valve from right here. And now what I will have to do is to remove the throttle body on this car. The throttle body on this car is mounted right here. And this is how it's looking. This is the throttle body on this car. It's connected to the intercooler. This pipe from the left side is going into the intercooler. And as you can see, I have a lot of oil leaks right here in this area. Everything is clogged, everything is very dirty. And I'll have to remove them and clean them right away. So to do this job on this car, what I recommend you to do is to push this metal clip. You have to push it and remove the hose from the throttle body. And then you'll have to remove a few clips and a few screws which are securing the pipes and the connectors around it. So as you can see, this connector is going right here. If you feel that the job is a little bit difficult, I recommend all to not start it. And if you think that you are able to do it, just take some pictures because you want to know where everything is going and you don't want to forget anything loose. So as you can see, I recommend all to remove those two screws from right here and remove this plastic pipe from over the intake. And as you can see, this pipe is coming out very easy. You'll have to pull it just a little bit. You'll have to wiggle it around and eventually it will come out from its place. Then what you'll have to do is to remove this connector which is going into the throttle body. You'll have to push the plastic clips and the connector will come out from its place. Then you'll have to remove first the mounting bracket for the intercooler pipe. So as you can see, this pipe is holding in 4 bolts. As you can see, you'll have to remove all of these bolts from around it. You'll have one right there. You'll have another one into the right side and you'll have 2 more underneath this plastic bracket. Okay everybody, so as you can see, now I removed the pipe. This is the plastic bracket which I already removed and it's still connected to the air intake sensor. So as you can see, right here you'll have a plastic sensor. You'll have a sensor into this plastic part and you'll have to disconnect it by pushing those 2 plastic clips. Right here, I'm not able to do it with one hand, but I will show you guys how to do it right away. So as you can see, you'll have to push the 2 plastic clips and the sensor will come out from this plastic bracket. Okay everybody, so after that what you'll have to do, you'll have 3 more screws. You'll have to use an 8mm socket to remove those 3 screws which are securing the throttle body mounted to the air intake, and the screw from the bottom, you won't be able to remove it unless you remove more screws from the metal bracket which is covering the bolt. So just look what I'm doing right here. This is the connector from the throttle body. You'll have to put it away, and then because you want to be able to remove the bolt from the bottom, so as you can see right here, I removed the bolts from the top and also this one from the left side. The bolts from the right side, from the bottom part, it's covered by this metal part, and because I removed a few screws which are securing this metal part, now I'm able to lift the metal part, the metal bracket, which is covering the bolt, and now I have easier access to the bolt to put my tool and remove the bolt completely from the engine. So as you can see right here, if I put my phone right here, you will see 3 more bolts which are securing this metal bracket. I hope you all can see it very clearly. I already removed the 3 screws which are securing this bracket, and now if I lift it up, as you can see, it's moving clearly and easy. So as you can see, this is also what you will have to do if you want to reach the bolt from the bottom part which is securing the throttle body to the air intake, because if you don't do this, if you don't remove those screws which are securing this metal bracket, you won't be able to remove the bolt from the throttle body. So this is also what you will have to do if you want to do the job properly, and if you want to be able to remove the throttle body completely out of the engine. Okay everybody, as you can see, this is the throttle body removed from the engine, from the air intake. And right here I have the O-ring from the air intake. And if you have a brand new one, if you are able to buy a new one, I recommend all to buy and install a new one, because in this way you will know for sure that you will not have any air leaks right here in the system. From what I can see, this throttle body is working just fine. I only have to clean it a little bit, and then I'll have to mount it back in the car. Also in the future I will make a video guys and show you all how to remove the intake manifold on this engine. As you can see, the throttle body, the EGR valve, and also the rest of the parts from this engine are very dirty. I'll have to clean them very good, and then I'll have to come back and show you all how everything is looking and how everything is working on the car. Okay everybody, I'm back. I'm just done with cleaning the EGR valve and the rest of the parts from this engine. This is how everything is looking. This is the EGR valve which I cleaned. And as you can see, it's in a very good condition, but I don't think cleaning this EGR valve will fix my problem on this car. Also, this is how the throttle body is looking on this car. I cleaned it the best I could, and now all I have to do is to mount every part back on the engine. I will not show you all how to install them back on the engine, because if you were able to remove them, you will be able to install them back just fine. Okay everybody, I installed them back on the car. The engine did start very well. I had no problems with the starting, and this is how the parts are looking with them being mounted back on the engine. I cleaned them the best I could, and right here I have the throttle body, and right here in this position I have the EGR valve mounted back on the engine. So before cleaning the EGR valve on this car, I had an error code, and I'll have to put it right here on the screen for you to check it and see what is meaning. In my case, the error code was saying that the EGR valve is possibly stuck in the closed position. But after I cleaned the error and after I installed back the cleaned EGR, I have no more errors on the dashboard and the car is behaving just fine. But I'll have to do some checks in the future and see if the error code will come back or not. So from what I can see, the car is behaving just fine for now, but like I said earlier, I'll have to do some checks in the future and see if the problem will be still there or not. Thank you all for watching. This is how to replace and remove the EGR valve along with the throttle body on this car. If you like this video and found it informative, please leave a like and a comment down below. See you next time.